Nova-111 is an interesting one for me because what we have here is a game that looks great, the controls feel fantastic, sounds great, it's just a great game all around. The only minor issue is that Nova-111 is more aimed for your casual kind of gamer. It's not really for hardened veteran gamers. It's not really for people who are very good at puzzle games and are looking for a challenge, because it's got one set difficulty, which I really love. I love games with just one set fixed difficulty. That's the way it's meant to be played. But Nova-111 just has that difficulty set low so that it's more appealing to the casual gamer and not so much for the veteran. So let's go into it. Let's figure out more about what makes Nova-111 the way it is, and hope you enjoy. So the goal of the game is to go from the start of the level to the end of the level. I think there's 3 different stages and 3 bosses. Each stage has multiple levels, and within every single level there's multiple sections. You can get scientists along the way, but they're not actually really part of the game. You don't need to do it. And along the way you'll encounter new terrains, new creatures, and you'll also unlock a few new abilities. These abilities are predominantly there to help you solve puzzles. You sort of reach full build, I guess, around about mid-game, but the game is still entertaining because there's still a whole bunch of new environments and new puzzles and new creatures to deal with. There's no real, I guess, content desert in this game. It's new content the whole way through, right up till the end, which is pretty good. I'm not going to spoil what you do unlock. I'll just leave it sort of here. You get the beam weapon, you get a few cool other things, but if you want to play, it's all there for you to discover. I mean, you just can't fault the game for its production. It looks amazing, it sounds amazing. The controls are fantastic. I mean, I can't really find any major faults or even any minor faults, other than maybe just the one. But whether or not it's a fault is kind of subjective. It depends who you are. Nova-111 is a turn-based puzzle game, but with real-time elements. Every single move will count as a turn, but then there will be enemies or environmental elements which are actually going to act in real time. So here are some fantastic examples of that. The little blinkers that you see there drop those bombs. Those bombs disappear after a set amount of real time. Likewise, if you move under any of the stalactites in this game, they'll drop. Doesn't matter what's happening with the turns, they're going to drop after a certain amount of real time. So, what do I think of the turn-based real-time interaction? You kind of already see something like this in a game called Crypt of the Necro Dancer. Now that game is excellent. It's turn-based, sure, but then you've got to keep up with the beat and everything will move regardless of whether or not you take your turn. And so you're kind of forced to play turns but in real time with the beat of the music that's happening in the background. And you kind of see a similar mechanic in Neverwinter Nights. Neverwinter Nights was real time, but it had turns that would tick away in the background. And the thing with both of these examples is that sure, there is some fluidity there, there's a little bit of crossover, but you still ultimately, it still kind of feels exactly how you'd expect it to feel. Crypt of the Necrodancer feels real time, but with turns ticking away in the background. But ultimately, you're still pressured time-wise just as much as you would be in a real-time game. The mechanics are just a little bit different. Neverwinter Nights, it still feels exactly like a real-time game. There are just turns clicking away in the background, and in fact, you could probably get away with not even knowing that they're there. Nova-111 is no different. It's predominantly a turn-based game, but you have that real-time element sort of kicking you back into real time. You're just kind of crossing over those two, forcing you to make your turns a little bit quicker. Now I have to say that I do like the mechanic, it's cool, it's novel, but beyond that I don't really feel like it actually adds that much value. It basically just becomes a turn-based game sometimes and a real-time based game the other. So yeah, it's kind of novel, and you might say, oh, you know, when there is a real-time element there, it forces you to play your turns quick, that's really exciting. But then if you're playing a real-time game, you know, you still have to react there and then, so it's no different than a real-time game. And when you're playing a turn-based game, you have the advantage of taking your time, thinking it out, and making a really good calculated decision, which is fun in its own right. So I mean, there's pros and cons to both. What actually do I gain from having this hybrid structure, you know? As I said, it's cool, It's novel. Does it add any more value than that? I don't really think so. Now, I'm pretty sure Nova-111 has been designed intentionally to be a casual sort of game with a difficulty that's supposed to be quite low. The problem is that this is kind of a niche market because it's predominantly a puzzle game that appeals to casual gamers. It seems a little off, it seems a little strange. But if that's exactly what it's going for, it's really hit the nail on the head. I think they've done a fantastic job. But the thing is, if you are more of a veteran gamer or a person who enjoys puzzle games, you'll find that this game is so easy that it is kind of just trivial. Kind of like Dear Esther or a book or something. Why is it so easy? It's mostly because they give you way too much health, way too many escapes, way too many power-ups. There's almost no way you can fail. At one point in this game, I was going through guns blazing because there just wasn't enough resistance and I could just get away with it. And I just wanted to clock the game, so why not? I was going reckless as possible. And I did die once, so you know, I managed to die, which was good. But honestly, like I actually had to pretty much give it to them and work at it because there's health packs left, right and center. You almost never run out of them, and if you do get low enough, you can always run back to later in the level and pick up some more. And if I ever needed to escape a sticky situation, you have those polygel bombs that you can just launch. Most of the time you don't need them anyway. Like if you've got your wits about you, you can easily deal with most puzzles that you come across in real time as well. So the game isn't that long. I clocked it in roughly 3 hours. You can do more things once you clock the game, like rescue more scientists. So ultimately, who would I recommend Nova-111 for? I guess anyone who likes puzzle games and anyone who likes casual games. It's unfortunate that Nova-111 isn't really for more of your typical gamer. I think it's going to be too easy for your typical gamer, and it's going to really only appeal to more of your casual gamer, because it does get too easy. Thanks for watching, guys. I look forward to the next one of these. I love talking about game design and game theory and that kind of stuff, so I don't know, we'll pick a different one, a good suitable game, and go through it. Thanks for watching, and see you around.